Welcome back to What in the World is Happening with King County Real Estate. Let's check it out. In fact, this is a new format for us all here. We're going through what's happening with King County, and then we'll go down to Pierce, and then Kitsap and Snohomish, and then wind up where I live on Vashon. If you want to know what's happening in our area, this is the video to watch. All right. Are you ready? I can't hear you. All right, let's go. Here we go. Starting with our friends in King County. We're going to look at this a couple of different ways. If I can figure out how to do this, and I can, and I did. All right. You're looking at the supply and demand graph for the last 5 years. Crazy. That's like the beginning of the pandemic. I know. Seems like forever ago and yesterday all at once, but it really was the last 4 or 5 years. All right. Blue is the demand. Blue is the number of homes that left the market, went under contract any given month. And the green is the supply, the homes that came to market any given month. Yeah. Yeah. So you could see a couple things just from a historical perspective. Last year, where'd all the business go? That's what all your realtor friends are saying. Where did all the business go? That's half the number of deals in King County last year. Crazy. And less than half the buyer is the sellers. So inventory just disappeared last year. We can see that. So I'd like to give a little bit of history, a little bit of background so you can see against where we are now. Let's just look at the last 2 years. Here we go. Okay, so you can see a couple things in the last. This is interesting to me because I like graphs and numbers and housing stuff. But look at March. 2,000 new listings came on in March of this year. How many last year? Oh, almost the same number. And the year before? Yeah, it's not as much as the year before, about 30% less than 2022, but as many as 2023. So now it's building. Now the question is it going to continue up and maybe start to get closer to 2022 numbers, or are we leveling off? And is April going to be the same deal? Now, you'd think I'd know, but you'd be wrong. Why? Because my magic 8 ball broke. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. There is not any way to know this. The future is not predictable. So you got to be really clear about that, because there are a lot of people that pretend to know these things and they sound very official and they get on the news and they get in and you see them on TikTok and whatever. Some of them are going to be right. That's the way prognostication works. Yes, and I got to use prognostication. That's the way prognostication works. Sometimes you're right. And if you're right, everyone remembers you. It's survivor bias. So, but there's no penalty for being wrong. If people are wrong about their takes on the market, then they are just wrong and you forget about them. And they make lots more predictions later. Some of them are bound to be right. Point is, nobody knows if this graph is going to continue up and match 2022, or is it going to be the same deal as 2023? We can't tell yet. There are more buyers in the market than there were last year. We can tell that, but not as many buyers as 2022 in King County. So it's been heating up. It feels like it could go higher if you want to know the sense of it, but I suspect it will, but I wouldn't bet a lot of money on it. What does that mean? Well, if you're a buyer, I don't think you can count on there being a ton more inventory for you. I think if you find the right house, you should be jumping on that puppy. And if you're selling, okay, you can't, you are in a pretty good position. No matter how you look at it, in any of these numbers in recent past, you are going to wind up, if you price it well, with multiple offers. And pricing it well is the key, because the market has in fact capped what people can pay, right? The um, interest rate, the bond market has capped what people can pay. That was the point of raising interest rates, was to cap the inflation. And it's done that. People can't pay what they used to be able to pay. Okay. So if you're, which is good news for the sellers, I mean, for the buyers, but sort of sad news for the sellers. Okay. You can't get what you used to get. Or sorry, let's put this accurately. You can't get as much over asking as you used to get. You'll get more money for the house than you would last year, but not just not at the rate at which it had been going.